and the hidden and strength. And also he has given us 14 different points how not to waste our energies. So in which part we are draining our energies. And today we are going to know about our childhood environment and about the consciousness, right? One by one. And and how Seth Master got connected to Jane Roberts. So this book is a channeled material. It was by Jane Roberts. So she is a channel. So she has channeled all the Seth Master's wisdom through her through telepathy, and how she got connected, and how Seth Master got connected to Jane Roberts. And let me read a paragraph from the book. The personality was never consciously aware of the initial meeting. She simply experienced sudden new thoughts, and since she is a poet, she appeared a poetic inspirations. At one time, some years ago, at a writers' conference, she became involved in circumstances that could have led to her psychic development before she was ready. The psychological climate at the time of those involved initiated the conditions, and without realizing that she was about a friend, Jane went into a trance. So she already she got connected. So Seth Master got connected much earlier than what he shared. So that much earlier, so that she has some psychic abilities, some psychic gifts from since her childhood. So slowly, when she started to develop these psychic abilities, psychic gifts, we can say. So he knows well about Jane Roberts, about her psychic gifts. So he waited for the time. So everything happens at a divine time, friends. We have to wait. So but the insights, whatever the insights is necessary, was channeled through the poetry until she has attained the necessary background that was needed for that particular case. So she used it to take sessions, in-person sessions, and some different case studies. So there Seth Master used to help her, but she is not aware of Seth Master's consciousness then. So slowly, when she started to develop and sufficient background, when she is completely ready, then Seth Master started to give her wisdom, all this wisdom what we are now going through. And we got to know about her psychic gifts of Jane Roberts. So how we get these gifts? So it's so she is not like special. So we all have that gifts. So Seth Master here, it is what Seth Master says, that when you arrive or emerge into physical life, not only is your mind not a blank slate waiting for the scrolls that experience will write upon it, but you are already equipped with a memory bank far surprising that of any computer. So we think here, he says, we think that after taking birth, we take all we get all these gifts, any psychic gifts. Okay, we get all these gifts, but rather he says, before taking birth itself, we take all these gifts, we take birth with these gifts, not after taking birth. So you face your first day upon the planet with skills and abilities already built in, though they may or may not be used, and they are not merely the result of hereditary as you think of. So here it's not any hereditary. So it's like we bring from our past life, or whatever the practice we have done. So it's all the universe, it's all that we have, the universe has granted us those gifts. We bring those gifts when we take birth. So in the same way, even Jane Roberts, she She got that psychic gifts to like telepathy or connecting with the other consciousness. But what we do is we build such personalities of such realities in which so we think that our soul is an entity, and it is not like we bring that through hereditary. So some gifts, they are not hereditary. So it's a myth. It's a myth that we have to break that myth, that it is any gifts given to the child, it's not hereditary, right? And uh, and he says, you may think of your soul or entity, though only briefly and for the sake of this analogy, of some conscious and living, divinely inspired computer who programs its own existences and lifetimes. So we plan our life, we plan all these personalities. And here he says, so when we build such personalities of such realities in which we operate, and its mental equipment to meet specialized environment. So what he is clearly, so to precise, to make it very clear, when we are about to take birth on this planet, so any planet, there are different dimensions, isn't it? So we choose the dimension before taking birth. We take all the abilities, we bring with all the abilities, and at the same time what happens is we just we our soul has that ability, the capability, which we are about to face the challenges, right? So here the challenges which we are going through, or which we have gone through, so those challenges, or to our ability, that means we can face that, right? So we can face that. So the soul plans clearly, the soul plans in a such a way that it can overcome that challenges easily. It has that ability. But what we think, it's we with our thought, with our with our thoughts, we feel that the challenges are more, I mean, that it has, we can't even face that challenge. And few people, they decide, like they take hard decisions, like to leave their body, to leave their physical body, like suicides or committing the suicide, or all the thoughts. It's all related to our thought, friends. So whatever we come here, whatever the challenges we bring in, so we have that capability, we have to remember that our soul has that ability to overcome that, to face that challenge, right? So everything is a pre-planned. And we take that gifts as well. So gifts is not only the psychic gifts, friends. Whatever the strength is a gift to us, whatever we feel, whatever, not only weakness, we have certain strengths. So we have to tap that strengths. How? Meditation. So meditation helps to break that limits. Meditation helps to explore our strengths. So when we tap those strengths, when we tap those gifts, or which we already bought, that which we already taken, but before taken birth itself, we have planned all these things, isn't it? So when we start to meditate, slowly we will try to understand. So trying to understand about ourselves means what? So knowing about our strengths and weaknesses, and trying to overcome our weaknesses with our already hidden strengths, right? And next he says about, but our but our limited belief system stops us to explore these personalities. We all have that gifted personalities, we all have. Just we have to believe in ourselves, we have to think, and we have to sit ourselves, we have to give ourselves sufficient time, right? So then we can understand. And when we cross that limited beliefs, and when we cross that limitedness, we can explore, we can experience that gifts in us. And he says, when we are born, you are already conditioned to perceive reality in a particular manner, and to interpret experience in a very limited but intense range. So when we are limiting ourselves, friends, we are limiting our reality, we are limiting our experiences. For example, see that if if there is something that we have to go out and we have to experience, that we think that I'm not capable of, or I'm not having such abilities in me, so we are stopping, we are not opening our door. So when we are stopping ourselves, we are limiting our experiences in reality. So we are stopping, so what we are meant to experience in this life, we are stopping that reality. And when we stop that, when we limit that experiences, and here we have to take double the challenge what we have brought, because soul always explores, soul always wants something new, soul always explores for new experiences. So when the mind and the soul consciousness clashes, when we give importance to our mind, we stop our reality, we stop our experiences, different experiences. So why we have to choose different realities? So why soul chooses different realities? Because soul evolves through experiences. So when we are stopping, when we are limiting ourselves, that means we are limiting our evolution, we are limiting our growth. And again, and soul, when that person, when that individual leaves the body, and when he goes to the and his soul's realm, so then he, or that soul, okay, that soul, everything, when watches, when it got to know that whatever has planned is not accomplished, what the soul does is it plans in a stronger way, much stronger way, that it has must and should has to experience that. So it is better to learn, better to stop that limitedness, better to explore, go beyond that limited belief system in us. So, and when we limit ourselves, yeah, we are limiting our experiences. So each system of reality has its own root assumptions. So here, so far what we have understood is, we have certain abilities, like how Jane Roberts got connected with SETH master, and we come with certain abilities, and those are not from the every whatever the gifts, whatever the abilities or strengths, those are all not from the hereditary. So here he is breaking certain myths, and we come here with sufficient amount, with sufficient strength to overcome our own challenges, right? And now here comes about the assumptions. So each and every system, each and every reality has its own assumptions, root assumptions we call, right? And connecting with soul consciousness, connecting with the consciousness, I will share my experience, how I got connected with SETH master, when we go through the consciousness. So here he says about each and every reality has its own root assumptions. And in here, in 3D dimension, space and time are the root assumptions. That means Maya, illusion. So each and every dimension has certain illusions, certain built-up illusions. So when we enter into that dimension, when we are about to enter into that dimension, we cross the layer. There will be a layer, friends. So we cross that layer that is called Maya, that is illusions. So we forget everything, isn't it? We don't remember what we have planned, what we have written at the soul level. So we forget everything. That's called illusions. That's called Maya. So when we enter into that state, we completely forget everything, and that assumptions, we fall into the assumption. And here in this 3D dimension, space and time are the root assumptions. So that means there is a root cause, and we all get connected. We all will build our own belief system, our own assumptions, on basing on these space and time, isn't it? Space and time assumptions. So there will be, each and every reality has some assumptions, and when a soul or when an entity enters into that, it builds its own belief system, its own assumptions, relating, basing on the actual assumptions what in the reality. So here the root assumption is time and space, and we fall in the trap, friends. We fall in the trap that every time either we stay in the past or future, but ignoring the present. And we think that there is certain space, there is limited space, and also like whatever we think, it's from the past, and we are creating our reality basing on the space and time, isn't it? Just give a thought. Just give a thought. We are creating our reality basing on the past assumptions, basing on the past reality, basing on past experiences. We being in the present moment. That means only body remains in the present moment, but our thought, our feelings, we got connected. We connect to the past experiences, and from the past experience, we are creating our future, which we shouldn't. We have to create our future basing on the present, time, basing on the present moment. So we have to live, we have to understand, take that experience, learn the lesson, and be in the present moment and create a new reality. So when we are creating our future basing on the past experiences, we experience the same. We are creating the same thing. That's how we repeat those patterns in our life. So many people, they say that why it is repeating in my life, the same thing is repeating, because no one is giving that experiences, friends. We are creating our own reality. The SETH master line. So though you read many books, though you read any book from SETH master, you take any book, so he generally his wisdom is around you create your own reality. This statement, you create your own reality. we are the soul, we are the soul entities. We are the sole responsible, solely responsible to create our future. Though could be the next moment, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or the next year, or even the next birth. We are alone. We are responsible for that. So in order to create our future, in order to create the new reality, in order to create new experiences, we have to break the myth. So he has already given us the root assumption. So in your dimension, the root assumption is time and space. So we have to break that. We have to go beyond time and space to create an interesting and create a new reality. And the entity, and here he says, the entity or the soul has a far more creative and complicated nature than even your religions have ever granted it. Even the religion says about the soul, or we think about the soul, it's like we have already far more creative. Our soul is far more creative. So here SETH Master says that soul utilizes numberless method of perception, and it has its own command many other kinds of consciousness. That means our soul connects with other consciousness. Though we know or not, though we are aware or not, we are connecting with other consciousness. The soul can change the focus of its consciousness and uses its consciousness as we use the eyes in our head. So physical eyes, we see here and there. We change directions, isn't it? In the same way, even the soul connects with different consciousness. As we physically see in different directions, our soul also connects with different consciousness. So he says here, we have to be aware of the fact that soul is more than consciousness. We are still thinking that I am not this body, I am the soul, and soul has certain consciousness. And here SETH Master says, whatever you are thinking about the consciousness, your soul, your consciousness is far more than what you think, right? So how our consciousness acts? When when I enter, so here Seth Master says, when I enter your system, I intrude into three-dimensional reality, and you must interpret what happens in the light of your own root assumptions. Now, whether or not you realize it, each of you, he's saying us, okay, each of you intrudes into other system of reality in your dream states without the full participation of your normally conscious self. So in your dream state, friends, we generally explore, our soul, explores different consciousness. It goes into different dimensions, isn't it? That's how we dream certain things. And in subjective experience, you leave behind physical existence and act at times with strong purpose and creative validity within dreams that you forget the instant you awaken. So when we awake from the dream, when we awake from the sleep, we generally forget. That means we lack awareness. And so when we will enter into other consciousness knowingly or unknowingly through thoughts and feelings. So coming to the dreams, before coming to the dream, friends, when we are contacting certain people, when we are conversing, so whatever we are doing, our consciousness, our part of our consciousness intrudes into others' consciousness. That's how we exchange our energies. And here we should not blame others. So because of him, because of her, I have loosened my energy. Because friends, this is all about our thinking. Because this is all about our energies. For example, think if a person has a less immunity, has a lack of immunity in his body, so generally that attracts different types of viruses, isn't it? So if we lack certain energies, if we lack if our energy is not sufficient, generally we attract certain energies, lower energies, and there is no other like lower entity. I'm not speaking about others, because low energies what we have released already, that's we are even releasing that negative thoughts, and we attract the same negative frequency when we are not having sufficient energy. So that's the reason we should not judge others, we should not comment others. So whatever we do, we are interacting with the conscious. We think that only the physical body we are interacting with them. No, our consciousness is also interacting with others' consciousness, other people consciousness, and also the things. Not only living beings, non-living beings has also its own consciousness. It's also a soul that has taken into that form. So when we are cleaning, or when we are cooking or doing any physical activity, we think that only our physical body, but in that our consciousness is, our part of our consciousness is present in that work. That's why Patri sir says you have to cook. So whenever you are preparing something, when you are preparing food, our consciousness is present in that. So whatever we feel, whatever we think, we are adding into that food. So we have to be aware of what we are doing. When we are creating something, when we are painting something, when we are our consciousness is present in there. Not forget about art and crafts. So when we are texting to someone, or when we are on call, or simply a message, even we are sending our consciousness, we are transforming our consciousness into words. So whatever we read, whatever we write, our consciousness is present in there. So when we are in the same way, when we are reading certain books, certain authors, that means we are connecting, our consciousness is connecting part of our consciousness, not the full consciousness. Part of our consciousness is connected with that author, or with that book, that wisdom, right? That's how we get connected. So when we will enter into others' consciousness knowingly or unknowingly through thoughts and feelings. Okay, so when we are not meeting or in person, so when we think also, when we think, that means our consciousness is contacting that person's consciousness. Okay, that's why we should not release certain unwanted feelings, certain anger, or a certain feeling, the lower energy feelings we should not release, because when we are releasing, friends, the frequency, it taps into the other person's consciousness, and we experience the same. That other person gives us the same experience. Whatever we feel, the other person feels the same regarding us. Okay, that's why, see, certain people, they can be friendly with others, but they are not unable, they won't mingle with others, because the same question someone asked me, this person is good with you, but not with not but not but why not with me? Because whatever we are releasing, the energies, the frequency, it just taps the other consciousness, other people's consciousness. Even we are all have that certain emotions in us, isn't it? The high or low, we all have certain emotions. So we unknowingly, at a thought or feeling, we are tapping that frequency, which is hidden, which is in that other person's consciousness. So that's how the same we can reflect. That's how we are. That's the reason other people who are there giving our experience, certain experiences, they are just like our mirrors. There is a lesson to learn. If someone is giving hard lessons, that means there is something we have to learn. They are our mirrors, but we blame them. Suppose we think, think as we are a sun. Okay, sun rays hitting, so sun rays hitting on a mirror, and the mirror, it reflects on an object. That mirror, it reflects, that rays reflect on object. What we see only the object, isn't it? We see only object, and we generally think that these rays, so whatever the light is on that object, it is coming through the mirror. In fact, we are the sun. In fact, we are reflecting that, right? So we only look into the person and the object, but not the sun, but not the actual we. So when we think about it, we start to blame the mirror. That means we start to blame the other person. Because of him, because of her, all this is happening in my life. In fact, we are releasing that energies, we are releasing that frequency. So here we have to be aware of our thoughts and feelings, what we are thinking about others. And also, friends, it is very important what we think about ourselves, that inner chat, the self talk, what are the words we are using with ourselves, right? And it's a great deep subject, friends, consciousness is. And this is how we exchange our energies. So whatever we do, we have discussed is already, part of our consciousness is present in us. So coming to dreams, so dreams teaches us a lot. So okay, we are aware here, when we are awake, so when we are completely awake in state, so we can be like we have to be taken care of. So everything will be, we can take care. But what about the dreams? So dreams are great teachers. Dreams teaches us a lot, and my experience, I have learned a lot through dreams, a lot. So used to, many masters, I don't know their names, but they used to come and they used to give me wisdom. They used to share, and they used to clear my doubts. So immediately, if I get any doubt on that day, the same day in the dream, so some master comes by, and he or she, I mean, that we can say that master. So we can't give any certain gender, but any master comes in different forms, and I used to get clear about my doubts. I used to get answers to my questions. So here, Seth Master says, when we enter into dream state without full participation of our conscious self, isn't it? We don't involve, our full consciousness is won't present in the dream state. So when we develop our awareness, we can know our root assumptions and our belief system, or we can call it as blocks or lessons or limiting factors. So whatever the name you take, friends, when we experience the dream, that means we can learn through dreams the actual we. So what we are, we can see in the dreams, and we can learn that. And I have learned that. So some lessons what I have missed here, so what I was about to face, or we can say like some lessons I have fulfilled in my dreams. That means we have to bring our awareness. So there I have completed, so there I have learned, so this is not this way, I have to do in this manner. So when I have learned there in the dream, the soul already experiences that, the soul already learns that lesson, and it is not necessary for me to learn the same lesson here in actual reality. Many times it has happened with me. Okay, so we have to bring that awareness, we have to build that awareness. And our belief system, we act in dreams, we can't act, isn't it? So here if a person is acting means pleasing someone, or using good words, and praising some other person, if he is not feeling what are the if he is not being with the truth, if he is not authentic, so some acting is going on. So he does all the acting here in reality, but in dream he knows very well about him. Whatever we see, the reality in our dream, that's the true self of us. That's how we can break our assumptions. That's how I have overcome certain fears. So knowing that there some situations, so when I woke up, I think about my dream. So when you woke up, just close your eyes and recollect your dream. Try to recollect your dream. So there I thought, say there I got to know my limitations and my belief system, and whatever I have done in my past life. So there, that lessons I have learned here through wisdom. And again, when the dream came, when the same dream repeated, I have passed my test, right? So when, though we pass in the dream, though we learned in the dream, and here in the reality, the soul experiences the same. Soul experiences the same, right? So we need not experience the challenges in reality, in real. That's how we can use the dreams, friends. That's how we can use our awareness. So consciousness and awareness both are correlated here. As awareness increases, consciousness gets expanded. I repeat, the consciousness and awareness are correlated. So we need not think how we can build our consciousness, how we can expand our consciousness. We have to build awareness. That means in the dream state also, we have to be aware of ourselves, aware of our lessons. This has happened with me. So whatever I have learned here, I recollected in dream. Whatever I have learned here through all the masters, through you, through books, and through other masters. So when that particular situation, I need to face any situation, I got to know that lesson, because I have already know that, and I immediately implemented in the dream. Some masters, they have gifted something to me. So like some gifts they have given, gifts in the sense not any psychic abilities, but in reality some fruits, some fruit basket, or they said that they gave some that's I couldn't remember whatever, but some appraisal. So some situations, some masters, the astral masters, they give us some tests in dreams as well. So with awareness, including awareness, we need meditation and wisdom. And most importantly, we need to implement the wisdom that was known by us, that was learned here. We have to implement it here in reality. So when we start to implement, definitely we will implement in dream. Definitely. So knowingly or unknowingly, so we are conscious or not, we will implement it. So initially it will be a challenge, because we have to break our belief system, we have to break our limitedness, we have to go beyond it. Initially it will be a little challenging, but it's not impossible. We have to implement it. Unless we implement it, soul can't experience that wisdom. So keeping in mind, it's not enough. So by harding or just keeping the storing in the physical mind, it's not enough. When we leave our body, we can't take our brain, isn't it? We can't take that whatever we have learned. Suppose think, for example, in the past life, if I am a doctor or any scientist, so I have gone through all the material stuff, oh, isn't it? In this lifetime, if I am not able, if I am not having that, no, if my mind remembers everything, then when I take this birth, I recollect all the information which is not essential in this lifetime, isn't it? So whatever we have stored in mind, we forget. It is not necessary. Soul only experiences, soul wants only experiences. That's why it's important to implement whatever we have learned here. And so when you think of your purpose, and he says here, what Seth Master says about our purpose, not only here, in your dreams also, you chase for your purpose. All your dreams are related to your birth, related to your purpose of birth. Okay, so that's why we have to be aware, friends. And next here he says about impact of childhood environment. We will end up with this topic, impact of childhood environment. So yeah, in three-dimensional experiences is invaluable place of training. So this here, this reality, this environment here, 3D dimension, this dimension is a place of learning. That's why Earth is a school. That's why every master says Earth is a school. That's the reason all the great masters, they want to take birth here and they want to evolve, right? So your personality, as you know, is well indeed perceived and with its memories, but it's only a part of your entire identity. Even as your childhood in this life is an extremely important part of your present personality, though now you are far more than a child. You will continue to grow and develop, and you will become aware of other environments even as you left your childhood home. But environments are not objective things. So he says when we grow up, that is based on the present, on the environment what we have brought up. So what we were brought up, the environment. So slowly, when we grow, we develop what already we have experienced the environment in our childhood. We expand that environment. We don't take other environment, we don't take lessons, we don't connect to other. In fact, we build the environment what we have already known, what we have already experienced in our childhood. That's the reason childhood memories or bring up child is very, very, very important. That's the reason we have to be conscious parenting, spiritual parenting. So parents must and should have to be in this meditation. So and this is not from the book, friends. Whatever now I am reading, it's not from the book. So he has shared certain information about upbringing a child. So how a child develops inferiority and superiority complex, isn't it? So only two complexes here we deal with: inferiority, either superiority complex, or inferior complex, or superiority complex. So child brought up in when a child brought up in unsupportive, uncooperative, or parents dominating mentality, abandoned environment, if a child lacks love and nourishment, either he develops superiority complex or inferiority complex. So coming to superiority complex, he starts to fight. He means the child. For example, think he starts to fight for everything to fulfill his dreams. So when a child is brought up in certain environment, not supportive, so he starts to fight. If he develops a superiority complex from the childhood itself, okay, it the superiority complex or the inferior complex, it won't come when we have grown up, friends. It starts from the childhood, right? Starts from the childhood. So here he says about superiority complex. So the child, when he develops a superiority complex in the childhood, he starts to fight for everything to fulfill his dreams. The stubbornness slowly develops the mentality that he has to work hard to get his work done. So he thinks, so his mind is programmed for doing hard work for small things. So even he thinks that the child thinks that to accomplish, to fulfill certain dreams, to do certain work, even the small work also, the child thinks he has to work very hard. That means he is giving too much of energy, too much of potential, what he already has. So, and develops fears. So when he is trying so hard to accomplish that, so he develops certain fears, insecurity feeling, a complete contrast of his nature, and he becomes vulnerable. So it is not necessary that every superiority complex, so every superiority complex nature person shows ego self, right? So in hidden, it's a superiority complex, but he shows the vulnerability. That person shows vulnerable. So that means he is feeling that he is in fears, that he is missing something. He might miss something. He has to work hard for everything. If he wants to gain certain love, he has to work hard to impress. That's how he starts to disconnect from his own consciousness. He starts to, when he disconnects, when he is not with true self, this is how all the drama he creates, all the reality he is creating here with the environment, basing on the environment what he was brought up. And coming to inferiority, always this type of people always try to prove themselves, and they become attention seekers. They develop competition and starts comparing with others. So they expect full attention of their loved ones and feels jealousy and starts dominating on others. And again, see here, it's a contrast. So hidden, it's a inferiority complex, but but whatever they show outer side, it's a superiority nature, but in fact is a inferior inside. And here, friends, attention seekers, it's a very attention seekers who are in this type of energies, they attract uncomfortable experiences from others, and that frequency is not at all a good frequency. These attention seekers, so if they are their mentality is like, if their mind is programmed in that, so wherever they go, so they experience the uncomfortable situations. So this is how the inbuilt competition or everything gets built up, right? So, and when we think about this childhood, certainly every parent thinks about how we have brought up our child. Forget about that. Just think about ourselves, how we have gone, and don't blame anyone, don't blame parents, because still they are also in learning process. Now we have got to know. Now think about, go back to your nature. This is not my nature. Definitely we are not living as we are, isn't it? If we live as we are, when if we live that with our true self, then we are enlightened. Because a part of our consciousness knows everything, but other part of consciousness is still it still needs wisdom. So just sit with yourself. So whatever you experience, go back, and forgetting about leave others. Just sit just with your feelings and with your own experiences. So yeah, this is all about today's session. And in next session we will complete this chapter, friends, about he will help us. That means Seth Master has given certain guidance how to build our inner self, and how we have to take care of our emotions, and how each cell is in contact with certain energies. A lot to learn from this chapter. So thank you so much. If anyone would like to share, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, I know it's a depth, and we have to go beyond to understand Seth Master's wisdom. Thank you. Yes, anyone?
Hello, hello. Good morning,
Hello.
everyone. Hello,
Morning.
Master Ji. Yeah, I would like to know what is that topic about the Master Seth has spoken about spiritual parenting. Just now you said that most of our parenting depend upon the environment we are brought up from childhood, right? And also we give that as we nurture that as a to the children. So what did the master message on that about that? Because we can't change our parenting what we have got. We can only heal or do some inner child
Yeah.
healing or do some meditation to increase that awareness.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Can you please reflect on that? Thank you.
So he has not given tips on spiritual parenting. What we have already gone through, when we learn the lessons, so definitely we will change our frequency. This is my own experience. So we will change our frequency. When our frequency changes, definitely our family members, definitely who are close to us, it will impact on them also. They will also get to understand. They will also change, because when my daughter, when I'm dealing, when I'm conversing with my daughter, so no, one experience what I have noticed is, so that's a dinner time. I'm calling her, to have dinner. So she is busy in her room, doing with her own work, the school homework or whatever she is. I don't know what she is doing. So it's time is up, and I need to call her. So 3 times I have called, she didn't appear, she didn't come. So every time I call her, so she is, yeah, coming mama, coming. So and gradually what I did, generally I got anger, so frustrated, so she is not coming at all. And the third time, I just raised my voice, adding my anger. So why you are not coming? So I'm calling you for many times, but you are not coming down for dinner. So the frequency, she replied in the same frequency what I have called her. She replied, yeah, I'm coming. So in a certain strong voice, she said, yeah, I'm coming. So then I noticed, okay, whatever I am saying, whatever she is just reflecting, that means I am creating that energy, that I am building that energy in her. Then I understood, and slowly I stopped calling. So how many times I call in a certain level. So I call her with normally. So how I call the first time, so how I raise her name the first time, so how many times I call, the same frequency I have maintained, and she comes down with normally and with a cool, so she comes down. So yeah, though it is repeating, but the energies got changed, Meenaji. That's how. So when we change, definitely we can see the changes in others.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can relate to that.
You
At
can
least
relate, right?
your
Yeah.
daughter replied with the same frequency. My daughters will be like 3 times more frequency.
So it's like,
Thank you.
no. Mm,
Thank you very
thank you.
much.
Thank you. So, Ram sir.
Yeah. Hi, Sharda.
Madhukar.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sharda. Wonderful wisdom by Master Seth, and you have explained it so beautifully. Starting with gifts are not hereditary. We always think that, oh, these people are very special. They have got these gifts, but
Mm,
then it's not hereditary, or it's not. We are all gifted,
yeah.
and we ourselves are limiting our own selves, and we're not progressing because we have some limitations in our mind.
Mm,
And I remember Patricia saying many a times that we are limitless beings.
mm,
We should not put ourselves in the box, and we should not confine ourselves that I can only do this, I can only do that. We
mm,
can do anything that we wish to.
mm,
That wish, the desire should be there to achieve that, to experience that limitlessness. And you said we are creating a reality with time and space basing on the past. We always, come what may, if we are meeting some people, or if some situation is going through in our life, then we bring our past experiences. That is how we are creating our reality. The moment we change that in the thought form, then the reality is also changed. Why we have to bring the past experience? When Meena was asking about the parenting, how to, um, we have already done the parenting, then how can we bring the change? How can we bring the change in parenting? Now everything is done. So then when we apply all these points that Master Seth has shared to us, then we can just work upon ourselves, like whatever the parenting our parents had given to us, we can change it actually. Like
mm,
for example, the environment, maybe we are put into a conditions where we are by our relatives or by our surroundings, that we are put into a conditions that is only showing our limitedness. Then when we understand that we are we are gifted and we are limitless beings, that's where we open up, and that's where we expand. So in that way we are breaking, and whatever we had in the past, we are not bringing it into the present, and that won't be a future.
mm,
Yeah. And when it speaks about energy, Celestine prophecy in Celestine prophecy, we can see how the energy exchange, or how
mm,
we take so much energy. That is also, you have done that series on Celestine prophecy. How we take energy, or um, from the people, or from the situations, or from environment. So it is clearly mentioned there. And regarding dreams teaches a lot. And in the physical life, for example, we want to experience progress. And um, I myself have seen, and me and Ram, we discuss a lot of what we see in the dreams. And there will be repetitive tests that happens in our dreams. And if we don't pass the test, the dream will come again and again. So that
yeah.
until and unless we pass the test, then that there is a learning that happened. That's it. That's finished. You don't have to go through it again. So in a way, it is a blessing. Dreams are really a blessing, so that we don't have to experience it in the physical life.
Mm,
Some dramatic situations we don't have to experience in the physical life. So to make our life easy, we will get to experience it in the dream state. And only when we are conscious enough, we can able to take the lessons. And whatever we have taken the lessons in the dream, we get to implement it in the physical wakeful state.
mm,
And whatever the learnings that we are doing, the meditation practices, the sajjan sangatya, reading books, is helping us to deal with the dreams. They both are complementing each other. Dreams
mm,
and the physical reality, they both are complementing each other. And lastly, you said that when we are aware, the consciousness expands. Very true. If we are not aware, then we are only limited. When we become aware in each and every moment, in whatever we are doing or whatever we are thinking, even in a thought, we have to be very aware. We have to be very conscious. That's where we're expanding our consciousness. So wonderful, wonderful sharing, Sharda, and you have explained it so beautifully. Thank you so much for this. And yeah,
Thanks for your detailed explanation. I really loved your sharing, Madhukar. Thank you.
thank you, Sharda.
Thank you, Sharda ma'am and Madhu ma'am, for the lovely session. I just want to ask, what if we don't dream? I don't dream at all.
Okay. So some some people, they won't have any dreams, but it's okay. So whatever we have known here, so when we implement, definitely our consciousness expands.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's not necessary. If you are dreaming, then yeah, we can experiment it. If you are not, means definitely maybe some people, some, they don't know that they have already had a dream. They completely forget. So when we are in coming to awaken state, so some people, they already forget that they already have dreams. So I with myself also, I have experienced this. So some situations I have dreamt, but when I woke up, I think that I didn't have any dreams. So yeah, maybe. And definitely, whatever it's a dream or in reality, we have to implement our lessons. Thank you, Anna. Anything you just want to ask?
No, thank you so much. You answered my question.
Thank you.
Yes, Ram.
Now
Please
the
go ahead.
answer. Yeah.
Very wonderful session, Sharada garu. We are generally against mantras, yet I would recommend everyone one mantra. Every day in the morning, get up and say, I am creating my own reality. Keep repeating this 108 times. Generally, as a kid, we are always told, repeat a mantra 108 times. This is the mantra for all of us. Because the moment we understand this truth, that I am creating my own reality, you are creating your own reality, we all are creating our own realities, everything changes. Do not complain. How we don't complain? Unless and until we don't know that I am creating my own reality, you are creating your own realities. So this is the mantra for all, to keep on repeating that I am creating my own reality. And that is the true freedom for the soul. That the complete expression of a soul comes out when we align to this greater truth. We are creating our own realities. It is such an expansive statement. It is such a liberating statement. The whole essence of spirituality seems embedded in this simple statement, yet profound, powerful statement. We drop off all the fears, we drop off all dependencies, we experience something incredible as we keep integrating this wisdom and as we keep experiencing this wisdom. The blames, everything goes off, everything moves away. And whatever we are listening, this is all expansive. This is all expansive that we are listening. So this is all bringing us into the driver's seat that, there is nothing outside, but everything is inside. So thanks a lot. Very empowering and very beautiful. So repeat this mantra 108 times. If you don't repeat, in the past, there was a paper. If you don't print these 1,000 papers and distribute, something bad will happen. So we have to make some disclaimer like that. Always remember, we are creating our own realities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And definitely we will remember. Yes, friends, anyone would like to share? Yeah, so thank you then. So keep experiencing. So always try to go beyond your limitations. This is my experience, friends. So I was not a person to to take sessions and also to come on video. I was not that such type of a person before. So slowly I started to take baby steps. So when we start to experience the new thing, definitely we will create a better reality, right? That's how we grow. Thank you so much, Madhu garu. Shall we end the session?
Yeah, Sharda. Thank you so much once again, Sharda.
Thank you all for the messages, friends. Thank you then. Bye.